Okay, let's continue with our next customer speaker from NETZSCH. NETZSCH was founded in 1873, so the company is more than 150 years old. The headquarters in Selb in Bavaria. They employ approximately 4,600 people, and they're one of the very true German hidden champions. So they are in some areas, they are world market leader. In some areas of machinery, pumps, analysis solutions. They are family owned. The second family owned company we have as a speaker today. I forgot to say that the Trumpf is also a family owned business. And we started working with NETZSCH in 2024, but the company had an SPM journey before we started to work with them. And welcome, Katrin Lessner. Katrin is the head of global CIO office, and we'll talk about global demand and portfolio management today.
Yeah,
Katrin, the stage is yours.
thank you. So let me share my screen. Yeah. Okay. Yes, hello and a warm welcome from my side. Yes. So maybe some words to me, like Andreas said, I'm the head of global group IT office. So that means basically, and my responsibility, I have everything around demand and portfolio management, as well as our IT, PMO, and our enterprise architecture. So a pretty wide range of responsibilities. Yes, as I said, so I'm IT, so therefore I also want to talk about our One IT global demand and portfolio management challenge in ServiceNow SPM. Yeah, but let's start with some context. Well, our goal is to integrate process for greater overall business and efficiency. So this initiative is part of our NETZSCH Group's ongoing effort to harmonize and optimize IT demand and portfolio management on a global scale. So we choose ServiceNow SPM as our platform to support this transformation. Some key facts, Andreas already said. So we have 3 business units: analyzing and testing, grinding and dispersing, and pumps and systems. We have a history of more than 150 years, which also means our structures are grown on this historical structure. And this was also a challenge for us, but we will see later. We have from our 4,500 employees, around 150 are IT employees, which take care of 84 of our 200 locations. Most of our locations are sales offices, so they do not have a big infrastructure, but only application landscape. So our focus, nevertheless, 84 locations is big, a big range of customers to satisfy. Well, where do we come from? So in 2020 and 2022, IT strategy as a so-called enabler strategy for the business was set up. And our mission statement was to be a competent enabler to the business, as well as to provide value-creating services, as well as technology innovation, while protecting our company with an adequate IT security. What were our challenges? So let's talk about the challenges and that prompted to our transformation. The NETZSCH group faced several IT-related obstacles that made change not only necessary but really urgent. Here you see the global distribution of our IT departments. Our IT organization spans continents with teams in Brazil, the United States, Australia, India, Canada, Germany, Spain, and China. So a diversity in both a strength and a challenge when it comes to harmonizing processes and bring everyone together. Our main challenges were that we had a fragmented IT landscape, and everyone was everyone was working on his own in his own processes with its own standards, and therefore inherent goes a lack of transparency. So also the same challenge our colleagues from Trump were talking about. We needed to make the work we need to do visible and to create a funnel that it comes in really in an ordinary and in a structured way where we can prioritize. And we had regional silos. You could see that with our 200 locations and the ID departments we had. So some of them were taking care of several countries, several regions, but nevertheless, everyone worked on its own. So that was our challenge, to get rid of and to become one IT, making one decisions, having standardized decision processes and ways, and also standardized hardware and applications, for instance. Our vision was to create a unified, transparent, and efficient IT landscape. The target image, as we see, serves as our guiding star for the transformation journey. So our primary goal was, on a first step, to establish a global demand and portfolio management. Because we really started from the scratch. When I started to work with NETZSCH in 2022, it was really, we established in the same year, our centralized IT business service was established, and there was no structured way of working, no governance, nothing. So really we had this greenfield approach, and the first step towards a structured way of working was to establish demand and portfolio management. How did we approach this? Well, we aimed for global acceptance through permanent active change management. Communication is more or less everything. Our theme was tooling follows process. So our first step was to define a NETZSCH specific process. You all know demand and portfolio management is nothing new and nothing to define in depth, but we needed to adapt to our fragmented also landscape. And the 3 business units. We had a lot of process owners, not necessarily global process owners, which made it more challenging. And get a structure where decisions are made, everyone is involved, and the right persons are there. Once that was defined, we started with a proof of concept and gradually rolled out the process to all global units. When we started and when we rolled out the process, we started with board toolings. So the demand management was we started with the demand one pager in PowerPoint, which was sent then to mailbox. And we had a lot of manual work putting the project and the demand into a roadmap tool. So a lot of interfaces and manual work to do. But we managed that the process was therefore accepted, and we had time to look for a certain tooling that fits to us, and that was, of course, ServiceNow SPM. Otherwise, I would not be here today. Why did we choose ServiceNow? Well, because it offers us a centralized platform and increases transparency and support efficiency with our global IT portfolio. I heard that word today also from my speakers before. ServiceNow is our single source of truth. So we have demand management, we have portfolio management, we have project management, everything in one portal. Additionally, as we are IT, a really big advantage was the collaboration workspace between ITSM, which we also use from ServiceNow. That means for our IT colleagues, they have one starting point, one landing page where they start their daily work, and they have everything on one page, either if it is daily work like ticketing or their tasks related to projects. And we have one single data pool, which makes it really easy to take out KPIs and have really nice and really colorful dashboards to show to our management. How does it look today? So here you see our portfolio planning workspace. This gives us now the transparency we needed. You see, we have a lot of portfolios, so we are complex, but nevertheless, you can have different views having a specific view, and now the transparency to look what's going on, how is it going on, and what is the workload where we contribute to the business. You can have roadmap planning. Now it's visible. If something new comes in, how can we shift? Where do we need to shift? Maybe do we need to stop or pause? And finally, our KPIs, really colorful, as I said. You can see what project is contributing to which strategic goal, how many projects were closed over the month, over the year, and how many demands come in. So basic KPIs, but it makes such a visibility for the employees, for our colleagues, for the team, but also for the management. Well, what were all lessons learned and the next steps we are planning to do? We've identified key success factors and are now focusing on the next steps to further improve and stabilize not only our process, but also the system and the usability of our system. Our main takeaways, continuous training and the proof of concept are vital. So you try something, you need to adapt and to react and then give it out. You get better and better. You have continuous improvements. And like I said before, change management also very important. It's all about communication. Get feedback. Get a strong community with valuable impact and active discussions. If you have that, you can identify your multiplicators. So the persons with special interests are persons of special interest. because they do the marketing. They make the others jealous by showing what's possible and make them that they wanted to. Looking ahead, we are entering the acceptance and growth phase. I said we started really from the scratch. So that means using the system and making documentation at all was pretty new for everyone. And in the first step is simply more work for them to do. So everyone will agree with me if that's only more work for them and they don't like. So but we make that they desire more. We grow the knowledge. We show the possibilities of the systems, of dashboards. We have a working student currently working on the AI topic, seeing how it can be improved. And we reinforce by looking for additional allies. So maybe our marketing or financial department will also onboard to SPM. So then we have new persons from interest, new persons who are searching for new possibilities, making the others jealous, and waking up desires. Yeah, well, that was it on a short glance from my side. And now I'm also willing to answer any questions in regard to our One IT SPM challenge. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Catherine. Great presentation. And thanks for pointing out that how important it is that the strategic portfolio management is part of the ServiceNow platform and, of course, completely integrated with other modules via the ServiceNow data model. We always have discussions with customers who started out with IT service management and other modules, and they might have some legacy PPM tools, and they discuss them with us. Are there special functionalities they have which might make it worth keeping? I think you actually had the same situation, right, when we started to have contact with you. So we always say, look, there's almost nothing we can imagine you should do in strategic portfolio management, but you cannot do with ServiceNow SPM. And it's always much more beneficial to actually have that integrated with the ServiceNow platform. And you showed a great example. We do have a couple of questions from the audience here. So what were the key drivers that you decided to seek this alignment across the globe, and how did you convince your management? So everybody's interested how to convince the management. I think you partially answered that, but maybe you can elaborate on that.
Yeah, and actually, I had the advantage that this initiative was started from our management. So they hired me to fulfill this. So I had a really big buy-in from our top management. But in the end, it's always about resources, and for the management, it's all about money. So what they wanted to know is, so now we have as we got centralized, they wanted to know, do we need more employees or not? Is it just everyone was just saying, I have too much work to do, but it was not visible. Through the visibility, now it came clear, and through the dedicated funnel where orders from the business to the IT came in. So it made it visible. And then we were able, I show you the dashboards. Dashboards and KPIs are everything for the management. It was really one of the first things we focused on. so that we can present something to the management and to keep them up to date and make desires, huh? Yeah.
Okay. So you seem to have a very good management. Well, the company is already 150 years old, so you did a lot of things right. Does your management actually log into strategic portfolio management, or do you do some exporting on PowerPoints or other things? Or do you want to see the data live and drill down, etc.?
No, they actually have regular look into the system. They were really interested in. I mean, we have young owners, so they are really interested in all this digitization. So they say we're going paperless, and they wanted to have from the very first beginning. They wanted to have training and continuous training, and they also call if they can't reach out to things they don't see, and yeah. So also for them, it's a single point of truth. It's really advantage for us. Yeah.
Yeah, that really sounds good. And you said it already. Resources cost money, and resources should create value by doing projects. So throughput management, no? And I think it doesn't matter if you like 100 resources in your IT or 1,000 or 10,000. If we show people where they are today and we show them what you can do with strategic portfolio management, even a 1% improvement in portfolio throughput is in most cases a huge business case. And you're a good example for that. Have you another question from the audience? What concrete effects have you seen now that you have improved decision management? And do you see a business case from this you can quantify already, or is it too early for that?
Well, we have it's more soft facts, but you have the satisfaction of the employees. They do not feel that overwhelmed anymore. Also, this collaboration between ITSM and SPM, so it makes it really easy so that they know what tasks they have, and with their certain team leads or resource managers, you would say, they can prioritize their tasks, and what to do first. So
Yeah, great. Yeah. Yeah, in that context, I looked into the Q&A section and there were more questions related to the Trumpf presentation, but there was a question related to resource management and the German Workers' Council, the Betriebsrat.
yeah.
Of course, you probably also had to talk to your Betriebsrat. I assume you have one.
Yeah.
And over the many years we did this PlanHorizon, being involved in strategic portfolio management, we have had a lot of conversations with different workers' councils and smaller companies and larger companies. And I think most of them understood quite quickly that such a system is not there for control of performance or bugging people or putting more load on them. But if you cannot show that actually there are bottlenecks and some people are overloaded and other people might be more, I wouldn't say idle, but like there's an underload. So you need this transparency to be able to get the stress out of the organization. We see this again and again. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that was also our argument towards the working councils. Not to make visible that anyone is not having a less contribution or not doing his work, but having the argumentation towards the top management, that the employees are full of work and maybe we need more because there are more topics upcoming. So also to have the transparency and the visibility to argument. Yeah.
Did that change your hiring strategies and your planning for new employees?
Of course it did, for new employees, but also for external providers. Wherever we need support, made from external project managers and so on. Yeah.
Okay. Let me see if there are more questions. No, not at the moment. Catherine, thank you very much. Great
Thank you.
presentation. Thanks for working with us and for taking your valuable time to join us here today. And I see you later in the panel discussion, right?
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
Thank you. Okay.